just wanted to come to say he will not divide us. Hello Jay, hello C. If anybody wants to talk, you could add me on Kick. Curious if anybody is watching right now. I'm Sun Drifts. That's SUNDRAFTS. See what happens. It's gonna read a bit, but first, remember kids, just say no to fascism. It's really a peculiar look in this day and age. Say no to Milo, say no to Richard Spencer. But say yes to Oscar Wilde. Here we are. This from The Soul of Man Under Socialism. Oscar Wilde writes, "The chief advantage that would result from the establishment of socialism is undoubtedly the fact that socialism would relieve us from the sordid necessity of living for others, which, in the present condition of things, presses so hardly upon almost everybody. In fact, scarcely anyone at all escapes. Now and then, in the course of the century, a great man of science like Darwin, a great poet like Keats, a fine critical spirit like M. Renan, a supreme artist like Flaubert, has been able to isolate himself, to keep himself out of reach of the clamorous claims of others, to stand under the shelter of a wall, as Plato puts it, and so to realize the perfection of what was in him, to his own incomparable gain, and to the incomparable lasting gain of the whole world. These, however, are exceptions. The majority of people spoil their lives by an unhealthy and exaggerated altruism, are forced indeed so to spoil them. They find themselves surrounded by hideous poverty, by hideous ugliness, by hideous starvation. It is inevitable that they should be strongly moved by all this. The emotions of man are stirred more quickly than man's intelligence, and as I pointed out some time ago in an article on the function of criticism, it is much more easy to have sympathy with suffering than it is to have sympathy with thought. Accordingly, with admirable though misdirected intentions, they very seriously and very sentimentally set themselves to the task of remedying the evils that they see. But their remedies do not cure the disease, they merely prolong it. Indeed, their remedies are part of the disease. They try to solve the problems of poverty, for instance, by keeping the poor alive, or in the case of a very advanced school, by amusing the poor. Now he will not divide us in that case. But this is not a solution. It is an aggravation of the difficulty. The proper aim is to try and reconstruct society on such a basis that poverty will be impossible. Preparation for competition, it will restore society to its proper condition of a thoroughly healthy organism, demoralize rising, and that is a church has begun to say it. One hears it now from every pulpit. It is perfectly true. Has duties, perfect and brute. Disobedience in the eyes of anyone who has read history is man's drifts on kick.